5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And it's live.
This is Leicester Till I Die TV. Watch and subscribe on YouTube and listen on your podcast platform.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good night, good day, goodbye. Hello, wherever you are in the world. As I always say, one of those has to apply to you. Welcome along to the show, the 2025-26 Championship Presenters' Choice. Somebody once said to me, a friend said, "You must know a lot about football, hosting a podcast and a YouTube show." And I went, you do not know the half of it, mate. I know absolutely nothing about football. And I tell you what, if the last few seasons have taught me anything, it is that. I mean, when you look at last season's Premier League, the predictions absolutely off the scale. We actually, as presenters, know nothing. So when Tom came to me with this idea, I was a little bit sceptical. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be honest with you. And then I thought, well, hang on. I run the channel, so I can probably sort of, create. Because what he wanted to do was us all predict certain things, and then we'd come back at the end of the season and compare. And I was thinking, well, that's great, because at the end of the season, when we come back to compare, if I've done worse than everybody else, I can just leave mine off. Up here for thinking. Anyway, if you're in the chat, thank you very much. Get your comments in, ladies and gentlemen. They will come up in the bottom right there. If you're watching on Catch Up, add your descriptions below or any comments below. And we always like to read those post-show. And if you're listening via your favourite podcast platform, whatever that may be, thank you very much for lending me your ears. So let's get on with it. This is what it looks like and what our predictions are pre-me cheating. Let's talk Leicester. Tom, good evening, the man with the broken chair. How are you?
Much better now I've got a chair that's not broken, Chris. But obviously we'll put that down to the chaos of what was that late night Talking Ball show, which was, so intense it broke all the furniture around me. Great time.
Devon's answer to Valdunicun. Now there's one for the old... You've no idea, have you?
Straight over my head, but it's a good thing I live next door to a charity shop and I can pick up another one second hand for quite cheap. I'm getting through them on this show like there's no tomorrow.
It was he was a Irish entertainer who was on the BBC,
right.
And he was Mr. Saturday Night back in the day, back in the sort of late 50s, 60s, I guess. And he always used to sit and sing these long romantic ballads, sat in a rocking chair, and would sort of just gently rock and sing, but he never broke. That was the difference.
Right, I got you. Sounds like a horror film waiting to happen, that, Chris.
Well, unlike you, he didn't break his chair live on air. But look, how confident are you feeling? We've got to predict, and this was your idea, remember? We've got to predict who comes first, who comes second, the 4 playoff teams in no particular order, and the 3 relegated teams in no particular order. And then what we'll do at the end, I fed them all into the LTID supercomputer, and I came up with an overall average. So, like I say, how confident do you feel with your predictions?
Well, let's put it this way, Chris. There's very few times in life you get to enjoy looking stupid, but this is going to be one of those shows for us because you're literally peeing in the wind a little bit trying to make predictions with the championship because it is so competitive. But I think that makes it more fun in some ways, mate. So we can look back and laugh at the end of the season. But there are some bold ones in there tonight as well, guys. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what as well. Don't think that if mine are completely off ski, don't think that these will be shown at the end of the season.
No. I understand, Chris. Your channel, your rules. It's always been this way, hasn't it? With the predictions league.
One of the perks, mate. One of the perks, and there's not
100%.
many. Blue Fox, good evening. How are you? If I'm right, all the way from Canada. Interested to see where you place Leicester. Well, we're going to get straight into it in a second because I also AI'd it at the end as well to see what they came up with. Like it says there, though, on that side of the chat, please like the video, comment, share, subscribe, and then turn on the notifications. And I tell you what, somebody who knows what they're talking about when it comes to predictions, there's as bad as me, Brad, and most of us were with the predictions last season, which were all over the place. The only thing you could guarantee was that Leicester were going to lose. Nate, good evening, Nate, from the sunny states, and he won the prediction league last season. So this is going to be interesting.
I can't wait for him to tell us in the chat, Chris, how bad our predictions are.
Exactly. Right. Let's start with mine, and then it's out the way. And we'll go through yours and mine in a little bit of detail, and we will pretty much just sort of glance at the other presenters. All the presenters have done it, so they've all put their choices in. As you can see, I'm trying to drag out me actually putting mine up. Why did I put line mine up first?
I know we've got some differences, me and you, so I think this is going to be an interesting place to start, Chris, because we've got 1 or 2 big differences, actually.
We have. I think I've pretty much gone for... Well, let's look what you think I've gone for. So, I've got winning the league, Ipswich Town, and I have to say that's a pretty popular
choice.
Yeah. Sheffield United, look, they just missed out last season. I mean, they only missed out on the playoffs, didn't they? Yeah. Oh, no, yes, they did. They missed out on the playoffs.
Lost the playoff final.
Yeah, 10 points behind Burnley and Leeds, who both had 100. Of course, they've got a new manager. We were linked with their old manager.
That's right.
And I'm trying to think who their new manager is.
Ruben Sellers. It's Ruben Sellers.
Yes, yeah. I just think he might have... You know, like when Ranieri came to Leicester?
Yeah.
He took the squad that was there and just tweaked it a little bit. From the old-fashioned... And, you know, Pierce was kind of old-fashioned in his setup. And I have a feeling that Ruben Sellers will do that with Sheffield United. A team that for a long time was in the top 2 and then just fell out towards the end. I think he could just tweak it a little bit and take them that one step further.
I think they've nearly done that before, haven't they, Chris, with Paul Heckingbottom once when he came in as well. So I think you've got some good pedigree in your thought process there. I'm going to be devil's advocate here, though. I wonder if getting rid of him was actually entirely the wrong time. Similar to when we lost in the playoffs under Pearson, then came back and dominated the next year. I wonder if they stuck with Wilder, perhaps they might have got more of a chance of doing what you're expecting them to do. But interesting start, Chris, and that's the devil's advocate of this situation, is it? Do you stick with the new twist?
I kind of understand where you're coming from. I think these days, though, look, when you look at who Leicester City's manager was going to be. Hi, Locks, how you doing, mate? Thanks for popping in. He did a very, very good Leicester channel there. He did his version of this yesterday. All I will say, Locks, great minds. Great minds. Well, why am I saying my great minds? It was his idea.
I think it's quite a common idea to do championship predictions, Chris. Let's be frank.
Yeah. I just think with Wilder, I think this had possibly been a change for the better because he is old school, and you had, more so probably than Pearson. And look, we knew when we were if we got Wilder, we knew what we were going to get. Somebody that might get us up, but then probably wouldn't be able to take us any further. So, I think it'll be a good move. Now in the playoffs, and this is in no particular order. I've obviously got ourselves, I've got West Brom, I've got Coventry, and I've got Southampton. Now, Southampton I've got to say, actually do come out on top on a lot of, come out in the top two for a lot of predictors. I think they're going to struggle. I know they've got this amazing guy that everybody thinks sun shines out of his arse, Will Still, as their new manager. I don't get the love for this guy. You know what I mean?
When you see him in interviews, he doesn't come across as very charismatic, but I think technically, Chris, he's obviously got an edge somewhere because he's obviously a very competent manager.
Yes, but has he done it? Everybody's got to be given a chance.
Yeah.
I just can't get past this fact that he's come from a PlayStation background.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because he can do one or the other, can't he? He can come in here and utterly tear up trees and prove that he is what everyone thinks he's going to be. Yeah. And I think he's got a very good chance of doing that with a Southampton team on paper like us, Chris, coming down from the Premier League. It's going to probably already have a slight edge in the quality they got in that team, right? Yes. So I think that's going to be very helpful for them in the circumstances. I don't think you're far off there, but it is an interesting appointment, yes, one that could go south early and maybe throw a bit of chaos in the air.
Yeah. I mean, we've got here, bloody hell, Locks. Ethan on his channel said George Hurst for player of the season and top goal scorer. We didn't go that far into it, I have to say.
No. I'll say the one thing about that George Hurst thing is that George Hurst generally is more of a link-up forward, actually. He does a bit what Harry Kane does for England. He distributes the ball off to, say, Hutchinson or someone else, or more than likely Smodic should be top goal scorer for Ipswich. So it is an interesting take, Chris, isn't it? Because he's a bit more... He's not the out-and-out goal scorer of Ipswich, is he?
No. And Locks, mate, brilliant Locks. You've hit the nail on the head there, mate. You still have. And that is Southampton will win it now because I am fucking shit.
I also think, Chris, they could run away with it. If he gets off to a good start and gets that group doing, they could run away with it like we've done before.
Yeah, have they made that many signings though? They've still got the body of the shit team that they had last season.
Yeah, they got a new striker I really like. So I want Leicester to have a look at him, Damon Downs, who I think looks quite a good complete forward. So I mean, he's young and he's a bit raw, but if he gets off to a good start and that confidence is going, maybe.
But that Southampton team, a bit like Leicester, if we were to get Messi in up front, right, it's not suddenly going to make us championship winners because we've got 10 shit players behind. We need major surgery. And if we need major surgery, Southampton need the old heart things on them to get them going again. I'm not sure. But look, I think Coventry will get in there. Frank did a brilliant job last season when he went in. I liked, and I said when we got Cooper that I would have liked Robbins as our manager. But look, sometimes you can be at a club too long, as in Brendan Rodgers. But I think it needed a change because he did such a good job at Coventry with all the shit. We think our club's gone through shit. Their club went through hell. They lost the stadium. They were playing at different grounds, and he kept it all together. But Frank's come in and look, everybody has a joke about Frank Lampard as manager and Wayne Rooney and all the others. But he's done a pretty decent job at Coventry. Got them to 5th, got them into the playoffs last season, and I think he will again this season.
Interesting.
West Brom, for me, always been the last few seasons, always been the bridesmaid, never the bride. Never quite made it into the top 6. I think this will be their season.
Do you think it'll be Ryan Mason's breakout role finally as a head coach? Because obviously that's a big gig for him in a similar way to a Tom Cleverley or Watford. So it's a big step up for him now to take some...
It is. And I remember, I can't, whether it was when we got rid of Quell or somebody on the channel suggested that we got Ryan Mason in.
He was doing the thing at Tottenham at the time where he got them to the cup final, didn't he, and all that?
Well, yeah, I mean, he kind of, well,
When he was
he
being
finished it off, didn't he? There were,
Finished it off.
probably there anyway. But I sort of laughed him out. But look, again, there were only 1, 2, 3, 4. They actually ended up falling away a little bit. I just think this is going to be their season. And look, everybody, because of the nickname, everybody calls them, boing, boing, baggies. But last time they were in the Premier League, they were actually in there for quite a long spell.
Yeah, they were. They had the great escape they had, obviously, and they stayed up for quite a while, didn't they? I do wonder, Chris, if they're slightly too beyond the playoffs at this moment. They're in that gaggle of teams for me with the Bristol Cities, aren't they, and all that lot that could do it. But I think they have lost a bit of the spring, without any being funny, out of their step a little bit. They don't seem to bounce into the top 6. Yeah. And Coventry, just quickly, is an interesting one as well, because I do wonder, playing devil's advocate for there as well, Frank Lampard's kind of got a history of getting off to good starts in places, but he normally loses a bit of steam after a while. And in their pre-season, I'm seeing signs of them losing steam. So I wonder if they might not do as well as we think and get in the playoffs again. But perhaps Frank will prove us wrong. But I've seen in history he's done this before, Chris.
Yeah, no, you're quite right. Now, look, Leicester is the other team I've got in there. I kind of, having watched the pre-seasons, I'm thinking like, wow, look how good we are. We've not lost. We've got an 100% record. We then came up against Cologne, and it was like, shit.
Yeah, played a real football team, and look what happens.
Yeah, we are bad. But there's also and I think I could regret doing this before we play Fiorentina on Saturday.
Oh my God!
To be honest, but I'm hoping he's going to play his starting 11 there. I really do. Because that's the last competitive game, obviously, if the season kicks off the following Sunday, depending on Sheffield Wednesday. So, and also, of course, we've got the points hanging over us.
Yeah, I was going to say, have you been influenced here more by the points deductions? Say, for example, Chris, if there wasn't a thought of a points deduction coming, would you have put us in the top 2?
No.
Interesting, because I think
simply because of the fact that, like I said with Southampton, we don't need a plaster on a cut. We need surgery on a broken leg, almost, if you like. Do we have a Lucy Bronze in our team? No, we don't have anybody with that sort of blood, guts, and up and atom sort of attitude. I mean, she played the whole Euros with a broken tibia or whatever it was, Let's be honest with you, if Falk Faze broke his toenail, he'd be out for 4 weeks. So no, I wouldn't have put them in the top 2, having watched the Cologne game. Had we got a manager, let's say, I'll counter that by saying, had we sacked Rude right at the end of the season, and I know financially we couldn't, but if we sacked Rude right and got Cifuentes in there, then he would have been available then, still he was in the same position, gardening leave. If we'd done that, and we weren't getting a points deduction, I possibly would have us in the top 2. I just think it could be a season of what ifs.
Because the only thing I look at this and go, Sheffield United last season had our third choice right back as their number 1 right back for most of the season. So I look on quality versus us coming down versus what Sheffield United had got. And I think if it was me and there wasn't a points deduction, I think I'd have us in the automatics. Are
you talking about Hamza, are you?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
They loved him.
One example.
I believe they loved him. He got injured at the end. Oh no, it was Harry Souttar who got injured.
Yeah,
they loved Harry Souttar, and had he been fit, they'd honestly think they would have gone up automatically. Hamza, I think, had a pretty decent season as well. And like we say, players that are good enough for the Championship aren't always good enough for the Premier League. But anyway, now looking at this, the 3 that I see going down. Charlton Athletic, I love a bit of Charlton Athletic, and it hurt me so much to put them into this position. But it's always the team, and it's interesting. And I'll just actually say this: the favourite to come down is Burnley.
Yes.
Second favourite is Sunderland. Third favourite is Leeds. They are all odds on to come down.
Yeah.
The one after that, and I can't remember who it was that I saw, wasn't odds on. So they think it's going to be those three. So whoever comes up in the playoff place, it is a struggle for them to stay up.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot to catch up, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And that's Charlton. And I love Charlton. I don't know why. Sometimes I love Sheffield Wednesday as well. It's just sometimes you can't explain why you like a club. You do. You just and it's like that with me with Charlton. They again used to be regulars in the top flight. And they are very much, to me, the ultimate be careful what you wish for, because they all wanted rid of Alan Kirbishley. And as soon as he went, well, they just disappeared, They
did, yeah. It's interesting with Charlton, Chris, because obviously I don't believe last year any of the League One promoted clubs got relegated. I believe it was all Championship teams from before. So this will be a year where a League One team goes down.
And Luton, yes, you're quite right. Yeah, you're quite right.
Yes, I don't think anyone got promoted from League One last year and got relegated. And I think that's been the way for a couple of seasons. I think Plymouth stayed up for one, didn't they? Then went back down, but.
Yes, I think you're right.
That's an interesting shout then, because a lot of League One clubs have done quite well, actually. Ipswich obviously got back-to-back promotions one year as well, Chris.
They did. But I just everything I've read just makes me think it's going to be a tough gig for Charlton. I'm trying to think who came up last season. It was Oxford, Portsmouth. Who was the other team that came up?
Birmingham, wasn't it? No, Birmingham came up this year, didn't they?
Yeah.
God, I'm having a brain fart now on that one as well, actually. It's a very
Somebody
good question.
tell us in the chat who came up with them two last season. Because in fairness, and I think you could look at it and go, well...
Might have been Sunderland. I don't know. No, Sunderland for 2 years now, weren't they?
Yes, yeah. Someone in the chat tell us. But anyway, that's Charlton. Sheffield Wednesday, what do I need to say about Sheffield Wednesday? I mean, they may not even turn up a week on Sunday for the game against us. The players go on strike. And look, I don't blame them if they do. And I wish all the best to all the Sheffield Wednesday fans that are watching. Because they're watching in their droves, I'm sure. But not. I hate to see any club going through the bad times. As much as I joke about Derby and Coventry, I would not have wanted to see them go out of business. We've been there ourselves. Yeah. And it hurts even more when you see a club that goes the way they go because of a arsehole of an owner.
Yeah.
I worked in Bury for a couple of years. Lovely people, lovely local club, very much an old-fashioned, that if you go back to the late 1800s, they were one of the big boys. But again, a scrupulous owner who wanted the land and everything. So I just can't see what's going to happen with Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, it does look. It looks perilous off the pitch, doesn't it, Chris? Which is why most people have got them to go down, I think. Yeah.
Yes. And I think if you look at Leicester and say, look at what's happening to us off the pitch, I have to say it is absolutely nothing compared to Sheffield Wednesday, And, look, they can't bring any players in. So, two players, Josh Windass and there was another one, actually walked away from the club, which they were entitled to do because they haven't been paid for 2 months. And I think, was it yourself that said the other day, there's one player that's not been paid for 4 months.
Yeah, Barry Bannon hasn't been paid for 3 months, and he's still turning up to training at the minute. If he plays, credit to him, because he's not guaranteed to get any money, but he is a Sheffield Wednesday fan himself.
Yeah.
Credit to him.
Credit to him, yeah. But, other players, look, if you're in there and, your agent, our agent talks to, the player's agent, says, well, Leicester are interested in you. And you just go up and say, you're not paid me for 2 months, 3 months now, isn't it? If it doesn't get paid today, don't pay me for 3 months. I'm walking. Hello, Leicester. Do you know? So they could end up having. I mean, we joke about playing the kids, but that could end up for them. Yeah. My third one, this was difficult because they actually did okay But they were one of the three that came up. I still don't know who the other two were. I'm going to have a look, everybody, because it absolutely is annoying the fuck out of me now.
You could argue we've pinched Oxford United's best defender back off them, although to be fair, he missed a lot of the season last year, Ben Nelson, didn't he, with an injury?
He did. Yeah, they absolutely loved him. They said he was actually too good for Leicester.
Yeah, they did.
Another reason I've put them down there. Came up the season before was Portsmouth. Oh, Derby. It was Derby.
It was Derby.
Yes.
We always forget about Derby, don't we? Because we're not worth thinking about, guys. Hooray!
Hey! Well said, that man. So, yeah, Derby. Look, it's funny because Derby finished 19th, Oxford 17th, and Portsmouth 16th. I just think I've got relatives who live in Oxford, and I don't dislike them. I just don't have any feelings for them. And the thing with Oxford is they are a bit of a couple of seasons up, a season down, season up, couple of seasons down. They're one of those. And I just think that they are going to go, to be honest with you.
They'll be close to the wire, I think, Chris, won't they? But I wonder if, because they're slightly different tactically than those around them, if that might give them just enough of an edge to keep their heads above water. But I get your point. They are one of those in and about that place, like a few other long-standing championship clubs as well.
And, of course, if anybody's going to go as an away fan to watch them next season, you're going to go to the only three-sided stadium in the country. Although Sheffield Wednesday are very much going that way, but at least theirs is built, if not safe. You know,
that is true. I've been there a few times, mate.
Yeah. Right. Here we go. Then, because it's Tom's turn.
Yeah. Different.
Right. Look, you've agreed with me, Ipswich.
Yeah.
To get promoted. I think, they've got the strongest squad, haven't they?
Well, I think it's that, but I also think the system McKenna played with them last time when they got the back-to-back promotions, didn't they? I think the thing he did was he was very good at creating a team that was able to score from a lot of different places on the pitch and to be able to recycle chances and create chances. I firmly expect them to go back to doing that, Chris. No other team this year will create more chances than Ipswich. They'll probably have 20 plus a game because that's how they do it down here.
I think out of the three that came down, obviously that includes us, they are the strongest.
I think as a team and also individually, perhaps as well. Yeah.
And of course, they've kept the manager.
Yeah, which is a huge one because obviously it looked like you could go to Brentford at one point. So that's a big save for them. And in fact, actually, there'll be an interesting character arc if they do what we expect of them and get the promotion, because then I wonder what they'll do in the Premier League next time around. Well,
we then come to your team you've put in second.
Yeah.
Okay. It's your league, this one. Explain.
Yeah. Well, it has happened. It's not without precedent. Ipswich did it, didn't they? They came up and managed to make such a mark. They carried on. Birmingham have got a lot of investment into them, as we know. They've got a new TV series similar to the Wrexham one that's going to be making them money. They've bought some incredible players this summer for my money. They've really made a statement of intent, and there's still many more players may be coming in. There's rumours they might be going for Mitrovic. If they get Mitrovic, he's a guaranteed top goal scorer in the Championship, Chris. So I think they're willing to throw things at a wall until it sticks. And I think even if they're not second when we get to January, I think they'll go out and spend another 10-15 million pounds to put themselves there. And I think they've got enough about them in the swagger and Tom Brady, and he knows how to create a winning team, irrelevant if it's football or American football. So I'm going to give them a shock one here. They'll go back and it'll be automatic in second place.
I don't agree because I didn't have them in my.
You haven't got them in your playoffs.
But I know what you're saying. Sometimes, though, you can have. Yeah, you say they have got the swagger, but sometimes the swagger can come back and bite you on the bum. You know,
it can. True.
And I don't want to see them do well. That's a little bit of it.
No.
But I think Birmingham will come up saying we're the new Ipswich. You know, we've got all this money. And look, you know, I often say about Manchester United pre-Alex Ferguson, it doesn't matter who they bought, they were never the best team in the country. I have a feeling with Birmingham City, it could be a case of, doesn't matter who they buy, they're not going to get promotion. But we will see. We will see. I can understand why you've got.
They're in the winning habit already, I think, as well. And I think if they continue that winning habit and add a bit more quality, Chris, I mean, the Celtic winger they got, obviously, the guy who played for Celtic, he's going to tear this division up, mate. You watch.
Well, let's have a look then at your playoffs. You've got Leicester in there.
Yes, because of a potential points deduction. Otherwise, I'd have us touching the top two, definitely.
Talk me through, because you've got Southampton like I did in the in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Again,
I think Southampton would be up there as well. I think my two, like you say, are Norwich and Bristol City, because I think you could pick two from maybe 10, who you think is going to have a particularly good season. I think the one thing I'm going to give Bristol City the edge for, is the fact that I think they've been consistently getting themselves better every year, and now they're kind of there. And I think they're ready to take a step forward this year. And I think they're showing some good signs off the pitch as well. And Norwich, for me, are a funny one, because I wonder if they're going to have a pretty good season, because they made some good signings. They're generally one of the more free-scoring championship teams. If I compare them to West Brom, you're more likely to see Norwich put 4 past someone than West Brom ever will in this league. So I think with that, I'm going to give them the edge of Norwich and Bristol City sneaking in there as my surprises, Chris.
Although Sargent might be moving. I mean, was it Wolfsburg he was moving to, and that fell through.
Well, it's funny because my top goal scorer this year would be for Norwich, and it wouldn't be him. It would be Kvisgaarden, the new guy they've signed, who I wanted Leicester to have a look at. I think 23 years old Bromby youngster, complete forward. I think they'll feed him, and he'll get them a lot of goals this year.
Well, we will see. I would love to see Bristol City. Love it. I'd love it.
Bristol's time is due, Chris.
Yes, yeah. And they've been up in the top tier before, but didn't last more than a season, I don't think. So, I'd love to see Bristol do reasonably well.
Yeah,
either Rovers or City, but obviously Rovers are a long way behind.
Yeah.
Bottom three, interesting here. Look, you've agreed on Sheffield Wednesday. I think most of us probably have. Hull and Queen's Park Rangers.
Yeah, I think Hull are in a similar position to Sheffield Wednesday off the pitch, aren't they? And they made the Sheffield United change last summer by removing a manager that got them into 7th place, just missing the playoffs, who now has obviously gone on to Strasbourg. And last season, they almost ended up getting the punishment of getting relegated. They don't seem completely well run behind the scenes. So Sheffield Wednesday and Hull are both there because of that element. Queen's Park Rangers are there of one of maybe 3 or 4, including Preston, for example, who are on the cusp now after a few years of being down there, of being in trouble. And I think, bear in mind, Marty's come in. I saw what he did with them, and I think as soon as he's gone now, they're going to find things a little bit of a difficult adjustment to the new manager who hasn't got any championship experience, Chris. So I'm just going for the Queen's Park Rangers on the basis that I think they're going to have a more difficult year than last year, and I think that might get them into trouble. But also, obviously, no Sheffield United in my playoffs at all either, interestingly, because I've gone the similar thought process with their manager change. So
yes. Yeah, no, yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, and that, like you say, because of the change of manager.
Yeah,
there.
That's my feeling.
I guess what you're saying with Hull City. I mean, again, it's an owner who, when somebody just got you into 7th place or just missed out on the playoffs, you then go, "I'm sacking you."
Yeah.
Why? Well, you don't play football like I wanted to be played. Well, why did you employ me then? I mean, just. So again, probably getting what they deserve. You're right, though. I think Queen's Park Rangers. This has been difficult, as indeed have the playoffs, because we could put any one of another 4 in the playoffs and any one of another 4 in the relegation zone. So. It is very difficult, but... And
the interesting thing about it is, Chris, whoever's at the bottom come January is not necessarily even going to be relegated, because the championship is like that. We've seen teams be completely reversed at the halfway points, though. Yeah, sorry, carry on.
Indeed. No, right. Well, let's have a look. After yourself, we're going to look at Bradley's. And
here we go.
This one is... I don't know if you've spoken to Brad at all, but do you know what? I wouldn't be actually. I wouldn't go mad at him, to be honest. He's certainly not with some of them, anyway. Great minds, as they say. So he's got Leicester winning it.
Good one, Brad.
I mean, I love his optimism. I don't think it's going to happen, but look, I'm the guy to say. I'm the guy that whose predictions are the worst in the world. I was watching on YouTube last night the penalties between Liverpool and AC Milan.
Yeah, I remember.
And when that guy stood up, I forget who it is now, world famous player, one of the best in the world, took up to take the last penalty for AC Milan. I remember turning to my son and saying, I put my house on him scoring.
Yeah.
And he missed. So, but I just can't. I just think there's too much needs doing. It's like, for Leicester, like I said, it's like breaking your leg and then a couple of months later you're going to run a marathon.
Yeah.
It's not. He's agreed with me Sheffield United will be up there.
Interesting.
Yeah. The other interesting thing was that we put Middlesbrough in there, but he hadn't got Middlesbrough in the first place. He'd put somebody in twice. And when I questioned it, I forget who he'd put in now. Oh yeah, he put Sunderland in there. I went, mate. Sunderland went up last season. I said, did you mean Southampton? Changed it to Southampton. He goes, no. I don't want Southampton. I think Southampton will fall apart. And I've said, put Middlesbrough in there.
Brad's the first one to not have two ex-relegated teams in his top six, Chris. He's got no Ipswich and no Southampton.
Oh.
We've at least got two.
Yeah, Blue Fox has said there, no interest in no Ipswich. And I think that's a big call from Brad. If anybody's going to make the big calls, it's Brad. Let's be honest with you.
I talk about readjustment, mate. I mean, they've been losing all year like we have. It is how you readjust back to the Championship. And there is a shout. They might find it difficult for a few games. And so he might have a point. Yeah,
he may well do. He's got West Brom in, saying with me. He's got Birmingham in there. Did I have Birmingham in my top six?
No, you didn't. You had Coventry instead.
Coventry, yes, I did. You're right. So he's got West Bromwich. He's got Birmingham like you have. The other interesting one is Blackburn Rovers.
Yeah, with Sidney Tavares, obviously used to be our young player who signed for them for £2 million in the middle. I mean, they were on the cusp for me as well because they've improved from last year, haven't they? But you just wonder if, just with their ownership, they're not going to have enough just to creep over it. But yeah they could be in there.
Knowing Blackburn, because I used to work for them, and they did well under Jack Walker, and it all started to go wrong when he sold it to the Venkies.
Oh, terrible! Yeah,
and the Venkies wanted to please the fans so much that they got rid of Saladin.
Yeah, which was a crazy decision. And
replaced him with I can't remember the guy's first name, but he was called Keane.
Steve Keane.
Steve Key, a bald-headed coot, and who was absolutely fucking useless.
Yeah.
I mean, he did to Blackburn Rovers what Ruud van Nistelrooy did to Leicester.
Oh, he's a terrible manager. He's one of the worst managers I've seen in the Premier League, that bloke. I swear to God, he was terrible.
Yeah, he was. And, of course, since then, it's all, basically... I mean, chicken farmers, and they've got stuffed every week, haven't they? But they went down to the third tier. They came back up to the second. I think that is a big call. Last season, they did finish. I mean, they finished seventh, so just outside the playoffs. They had a good run, 4 wins and a draw at the end. But I don't know. Again, I don't think they can sustain it, Blackburn.
I think Blackburn and Middlesbrough and Brad's table both got the same challenge here, haven't they? They both could swing anywhere from maybe 6th, 5th, all the way down to maybe 17th or 16th at a bad season. I think they're well in that midfield group, and it really depends how they start the season. I think with Carrick going for Middlesbrough, I view it as a step back. I think because you're trying to build with a lower, financial level of that team with players that he knows better than a new manager. So, I've gone backwards on them a bit, but it wouldn't surprise if they do make it, Chris. Wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, Middlesbrough finished 10th. They kind of fell off towards the end a little bit. I think, and it's their owner is a Middlesbrough fan. He was the owner when they had the spending spree with Juninho and Ravanelli.
Oh, Emerson,
and Emerson. He's pretty much a manager who sticks by. An owner that sticks by his manager. So I was surprised at that. And the bottom three, look, he's agreed with you on every single count there.
That's a very interesting split. Yeah.
Yeah, like I say, guys, when you look at the P's and the R's, don't look at it that we've got those as 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. 3, 4, 5th, and 6th, and don't presume that it's 22, 23, 24. I've mixed it up just because I say we're not actually looking at final positions. Clibbo, Uncle Clibbo here. Now he's got Southampton to win it. Wow.
Interesting. Could happen.
Ipswich second, then Leicester, Sheffield United, Birmingham, Coventry. Apparently for him, if you're not called City, you're not making it into the playoffs.
Just need to add Bristol City there instead of United. We'll have a full house.
Yeah, and then Hull, Queen's Park and Sheffield Wednesday again.
Interesting. We all gone for QPR.
You know, at the bottom. This is, there's a lot of QPRs there. So look, we can leave the relegated. Southampton to win it. Interesting.
I think they could. I think they got off to a good start, and he's tactically very good. So this is kind of an Enzo appointment for them, Chris. Really. So it'll be interesting to see how it translates. And I think if it does translate, I could see them doing over 100 points easily. I really could. I think because Armstrong's still there, isn't he? And he will get 10 plus goals in the Championship, no matter who the manager is, because of his experience.
Ipswich second. They'll take that.
Yeah, they'll take that 100%, won't they? I think Clibbo's right. I think there's a majority of us going for the 3 relegated clubs being in that battle for the top 3. And ironically, us Leicester fans have been a little bit humbled today, aren't we? All majority of us going for the playoffs.
You wait, young man. You wait. But yes, I think, and I think that's like a points deduction thing as well. Right, moving on from Clibbo, we have Craig, the wise old owl, as I call him.
Agreed with me.
Ipswich. He has agreed with you. Ipswich 1, Birmingham 2, Leicester, Coventry, Sheffield United, Southampton. Was that your 4 as well?
No, I went for Bristol City and Norwich City.
You did, of course, you did,
I think Coventry are going to struggle under Lampard more than people expect. I think Sheffield United will just miss out.
But that's an interesting one. Again, he's got Southampton up there as well. He's got the feeling that you have with Birmingham. And I've got to say, look, like I say, I could well be proven wrong, and I more than likely will be. I just don't get this thing with Birmingham City. I really don't. Going down, Hull and Charlton, and he's agreed with me. He's put Oxford in there as well. So that's Craig's.
So Craig's banking on a takeover for Sheffield Wednesday here, isn't he? Which could happen, and it could save their season, and then obviously they could stay up. Because I thought about it. I thought everyone's going to go for Sheffield Wednesday, but it depending on how their situation resolves during the season, depends exactly when they're going to be in a position if they're certainly down or if they could stay up.
No, you're quite right. You're quite right.
They're attractive football.
Backs against the wall.
Yeah, exactly. It could be, exactly. They might fight their way out right at the end after a takeover in January.
Yes, So, but interesting, he's not got Sheffield Wednesday in there.
Yeah.
Oops, I'm not sure what's happened there. It all went a funny colour for me. Jim, America Jim. Ipswich first, Southampton second.
Yeah.
Leicester, Coventry, Sheffield United, and Birmingham City, in the playoffs. Charlton, Oxford, and Sheffield Wednesday at the bottom. I've got to say, certainly with the relegated teams, he's a good judge.
I think the trend is looking very similar to a lot of other people. It shows that great minds think alike on this channel, Chris.
Yes. Hiya, Prashant. How you doing? No worries, mate. So he's agreed with me with the bottom 3.
I'm not liking all this Oxford United hate. I'm not liking it.
Didn't know you had links to them, mate. Didn't know you had.
I used to live in Oxford for 6 years, so I'm a little bit like soft for Oxford United.
Fair enough. I'm nothing against them. I don't hate them. I'm just they're neither one thing or the other. You've got Leicester, obviously, in there, as most of us have. Coventry. He's got Sheffield United. Once again, going into the playoffs. And Birmingham not quite making it. And this thing, when you've got 2 teams, let's not say, when you've got Birmingham who've come up, like you say, with a lot of money, building a good squad, against teams that have come down with experienced players, but new managers, that's going to be a battle within itself. It's almost going to be like a mini league, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why I look at systems a lot more for the Championship, Chris, and that's why I lean towards Ipswich and Birmingham because of the style of football they'll play, and I think they'll churn over more chances. I'd make you a bet right now. When we get about 6 or 7 weeks in, we'll have a look at who creates most chances per game. Ipswich and Birmingham, irrelevant to league position, will be in the top 2 for me, I think. But I think that is going to be a lot of this season. The Southampton could fall into that category as well. I think that will override the teams like Sheffield United a bit more, ironically.
You heard it here first, guys.
Big one, yeah.
Kate, now.
I was going to ask when Wrexham were going to turn up.
Yes, this is it. I've been waiting for this. We haven't had Wrexham yet. Look, I've got to say, Wrexham, look, you did us a huge favour with Danny Ward, although he had actually left anyway. Do us a bigger one with Connor Cody, please.
Yeah.
Please.
100%.
I love you, Ryan Reynolds. Like I said last night, I even loved you in the Green Lantern when nobody else did.
It'd be great at karaoke for your Christmas parties, boys. Get him out there.
Yeah. So she's got Leicester winning it. I just think this is cool. I just can't see it. You know, I look at that Cologne game, and I just don't see us being good enough to win it. Ipswich second again, so a repeat of 2 seasons ago. Then she's got Sheffield, Birmingham. Now she's gone with you with Norwich, interestingly.
Yeah, we're only 2 with Norwich, aren't we?
Yeah. But Wrexham, nobody else has gone for Wrexham.
No, and I was going to bring them up as maybe they could be someone, because similar to Birmingham, they'll still be making moves right up to that transfer closing, Chris. So they're going to get better even after the first few games. And once again, momentum, energy, it doesn't make a massive effect in this league, a bit of, that momentum. And I think they're going to definitely carry a lot of it, especially their first time back at this level for goodness knows how many years, right? So it's an interesting shout, this, and it could follow through. But I just wonder if because of the experience above them now and the money in all these other clubs, I think, it's going to be difficult.
None of us want to follow through, do we, Tom?
No, it happens far too often nowadays. I'm getting old, mate.
Yeah. Has Kate got things in reverse, i.e. top 6? Only joking. Now, interestingly, I think this will be the toughest thing for Wrexham. Look, when Birmingham went down, they've come up, it was because they went down. So they've got the kind of experience. Wrexham have been here before, but not for many years.
30 odd years, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, like you say, that this will be hard for them. But look, Ipswich did it. There's nothing to say they wouldn't. And look, there is a pull if you are, and I'm sure, I have a feeling that if Wrexham weren't in the same division as Leicester, let's say we'd stayed up. Well, if we stayed up, who knows if Jamie would have stayed or not. Would Wrexham have got Jamie Vardy? It is a huge pull, being owned by 2 American, film stars.
Yeah.
They've had the Netflix documentary. When are they going to do a Leicester documentary? That would have been so good. But
we should have taken the money.
Yeah, interesting. Kate's gone for it. The only one that's gone for it so far. Fair play to her. And going down, she's got Hull and Sheffield Wednesday, which, 2 that you went for, 1 that I went for. And she's gone Derby County. Wow.
I like the Derby County shout, Kate, because I was thinking that's a very Leicester fan statement to make, which I really like. Derby County's season, Chris, ironically, is going to rely on one guy they've signed, and that's Man from Charlotte FC for like 6.9 million, the striker. If he doesn't adjust from the MLS to the Championship, they might be in trouble, But I think the manager Eustace, or is it Eustace, came across from Blackburn, didn't he?
Yeah.
They stole him, and he's got a good pedigree of making, cheddar cheese out of literally cheese curds sat on the floor. So yeah, I think it'll do better than this. But I get the anti-Leicester stuff as well.
Leicester in first, Derby County getting relegated. How to say you're a Leicester City fan without saying you're. And
I respect this prediction the most for that reason, Chris.
Fair play. Reese now, Ipswich first. Nothing new with this one, I'm afraid. Ipswich first, Leicester second, then Sheffield United, Coventry, Birmingham and Southampton, all in the playoffs. Hull, Charlton and Oxford. I'm sorry again for your Oxford to go down. Nothing really surprising there. I get Ipswich winning. I couldn't see Leicester getting into that top two.
I am surprised how many people, Chris, have gone for Birmingham in the playoffs as well, actually. I thought I'd be the only one to maybe include them in any of it, actually. So I'm intrigued to see so many people have gone for them in the playoffs.
Yeah, they have.
A lot of people.
Scott says there, wouldn't it be lovely to see Derby County, Coventry City and Birmingham City in the relegation zone? Yes. If there is a God, that is what will happen.
The Championship's a funny league. Coventry could have a wobble year. There's going to be a club from that level last year that ends up near the bottom. Could be Coventry, could be Middlesbrough, could be any of them. So who knows? It might happen, mate.
Who knows indeed. Right, Wayne, our last mon, ninth presenter out of 9. He's got Ipswich winning it. He's got Birmingham second. Now, this is a guy that does fantasy football and all sorts. He's gone with you with Bristol in the playoffs. Coventry, Southampton and Leicester are the other teams in the playoffs, pretty much sort of agreeing with me on those. And then going down, well, agreeing with you, I think. Oh, no, because you didn't go Oxford, did you? But Charlton Athletic, Queen's Park Rangers and Oxford. So, again, he's agreed with 2 out of my 3.
Yeah, he's gone for no Sheffield Wednesday again.
Yes, he has. And look, sometimes it's the obvious ones that don't. Look at Leicester. Favourites to get relegated when we came up that first time under Nigel Pearson. And for a lot of the season, we'd have all had Leicester, non-Leicester fans would have all had Leicester in this one, in that bottom 3, that 14-15 season. And look what happened. Could happen with Sheffield Wednesday. They put a guy in charge, and my God, has he got a baptism with fire as the manager?
He does, yeah. I mean, he's been a player there as well, hasn't he? So I guess at least he knows the club.
Yes. I mean, he was Rolls' assistant manager. So obviously Sheffield United have rolled with it. Thank you very much.
Rolled it on down the line.
But so it's a big jump for him to do that. But I can understand why they've gone for consistency, and I think as well they've gone for cheapness. If I'm honest with you, in doing that. Right, let's have a look. So, Wayne was the last one. So we're now going to do is I put all of those 9 predictions into the supercomputer, but where did they all end up? We'll find out straight after this.
Hello, Matt Elliott here.
Hi, Alan Smith here.
Hey guys, Ian Hume here.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here.
Be sure to watch
Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV
for all the latest Leicester City news and information.
You can also subscribe on YouTube and various social media channels
for the latest updates and news on Leicester City Football Club.
Come on, you foxes!
Do you know what? I watched that. And I still cannot believe that those guys did that for me.
I know. It's a small world, Chris, isn't it? Amazingly small world.
It is. But they're so generous to do that. Really do appreciate it. Right. So these are actually in order. So the bottom one is the team that we most think will go down, and then Leicester and the same with the six. So these are actually the finisher finishing in 24th. And getting relegated. Sheffield Wednesday.
Interesting. Yeah, I think that's the common one, isn't it, mate? I mean, their best case scenario is going to be an end of season revival, but the thing that holds it up for me is I don't think he's eager to sell them that quick, is he?
No. Which I don't know why, because he's just got so much hassle. I think it's a bit, possibly a bit like Ashley at Newcastle. Yeah. I want this amount of money, and I'm not going to sell without it. Yeah,
and he's shown he's not going to put anything into it.
Yeah, I agree with you, Scott. I think Leicester may struggle this season, which is why I've only got them in the playoffs on that. So in 24th, the supercomputer said, we guys have put Sheffield Wednesday. Who do you think we've put in 23rd?
I think it'll be Queen's Park Rangers.
Hull City.
Oh, the one I went for. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Hull City are going to be in 23rd, according to all our votes. And then in 22nd...
This will be QPR.
This I've got to say, this was very, very tight. Two teams
Oh, I know the other one is.
are jointly holding this point because they were exactly the same, the way that the computer worked it out. I say computer.
They'll both go down with 50
being
points
a
of goal
calculator.
difference. Yeah.
Yeah. Charlton and Oxford.
Oh, wow. Interesting. That is
A lot. I mean, at the start, when we started going through them, you and me, and then like the early letters, the Brad, the Clibos, the Craigs, there was a lot of Charltons in there. But if you look, as we went later on, there wasn't very many Charltons.
No, I think Charlton's edge is their manager's very good. I think the fact he's got them to this place anyway, Chris, from mid-table in League One when he took them over, I think he's a good manager. He's going to make more than double the effort of what the team is. So I'd edge it to Charlton over Oxford, despite my Oxford hat sometimes being on.
Yeah. So those are the bottom 3/4, if you like. We've got Sheffield Wednesday going down in bottom, Hull City going down one place above, and then either Charlton or Oxford getting relegated in that last place. So, in 6th place, we have got West Bromwich Albion. Oh, you weren't expecting that, were you?
No, I was expecting maybe Southampton. So West Brom being that. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So going a little bit better than they did last season and making it into the playoffs this season. In 5th place is this Leicester.
Could be.
Bristol City.
Oh, wow. I'm surprised. I didn't think as many people had picked Bristol City. That's interesting.
Yeah, there's a few. And I think with a lot of these, some teams, maybe like a Norwich, only got a couple of votes, where Bristol City got maybe one or two more, and that's what put them in. So Bristol City in 5th. Go on then. Who's in 4th then, Tom?
Oh, it's going to have to be Birmingham, isn't it? Lower averages, Birmingham.
Coventry City.
So you're all wrong, Chris. I got to get my Leicester hat on it. I see Coventry being in the bottom half.
Wow. Well, no, they're going to be very easily in the playoff. Now.
Can't say it. Sorry, Leicester.
This is very interesting because we're either going to upset a lot of Leicester fans or we're going to please a lot of Leicester fans, so it's going to be Birmingham. And what about Sheffield United?
Oh, my word. Yeah, we're running out of places here. It's going to be Birmingham next. No, Southampton. Oh, wow.
Southampton make up that last, just missing out on automatic. I know when you look at it, you're thinking, you were saying you saw these teams coming up time and time again.
Yeah.
But when you look back at it, I don't know how it worked out, but you got 1 point for the way I did it anyway. That's how it worked out.
Yeah.
In 2nd place and 1st place, because if I put the second one up, you'll know who's going to be first.
Yeah.
Leicester are going to be in there, I'm going to tell you, because obviously we all went Leicester. Nobody didn't have Leicester in their top 6. Let's just say that. So which way is it going to go?
Ipswich, yeah.
Leicester
like I suspected.
2nd, Ipswich 1st. I think that was a shoe-in for Ipswich, which is why I didn't do that separately, because I thought everybody would know. So there is the final table. Birmingham, no. There's only a couple went for Birmingham.
Yeah, it's interesting because they either got really backed or not backed at all, didn't they? And then it's Bristol City and West Brom to navigate into these playoff places, Chris. Yeah, but it's an interesting indication, this, because, I mean, I don't think it looks far off this, does it? But the scary thing about the Championship is one of us or Ipswich could quite as easily have a bad year and do a Luton. It's happened last year.
No, exactly. But no, the interesting thing is, it's a bit like Eurovision, this. You know what I mean? You can, the United Kingdom got 12 points off Italy this time, but they were averaging 4s and 5s. So ended up in the bottom half, and the odd Birmingham 2nd place didn't give them enough to get in there. Anyway, that's how it's ended up. Now, Now then, young man, I went and had a word with my best friend, Google's Gemini AI,
Okay.
and
The
said, tell me how next season's championship will end, the final table will look. Now, that is us. That is what we've come up with.
Okay.
How close do you think that is to what? Now, this is positioned because, in fairness, Gemini did give me positions.
Right, got you. I think the top 3 are definitely going to be in there, Chris. I think in the bottom 2, we're going to have 2 of them as well. But I think there'll be 3 different. The Charlton Oxford will be different, the Bristol City will be different, and the West Brom will be different. Oh, and the Coventry.
Right.
That's what I think.
I wish I had a drum roll. But I don't.
Needed a soundboard.
I do, and I'm just looking what I'd got. Let's do this one. There you go, Mick McCarthy. What else could you ask for? Here we go. This is the table. They have Leicester going up.
Hey, I hate us, guys.
7th.
Wow. That's shocked me because I didn't think West Brom would be in their playoff places, Chris, at all. So that has surprised me. Interesting, I got the Sheffield Wednesday and Hull City thing right, though.
Yes, you did. Ipswich and Southampton, and then Birmingham, which was the one that you said. Sheffield United, which you didn't think would do very well. West Brom, who you didn't think would do very well, and Coventry, who you thought were going to have a dire.
I think they're going to be bottom half. Yeah.
So interestingly, Sheffield Wednesday at the bottom. Portsmouth is a surprise there.
Yeah, they're in that category, aren't they?
Yeah, they came up last season from the League One. Again, I've got a liking for Portsmouth. A real old-fashioned club, real old-fashioned ground. You know what I mean? They were dealt a shit hand when Mandrich sold. Because the guy he sold it to, he then went on to sell it to one of the biggest crooks. Probably make Sheffield Wednesday owner look. Yeah. But at least the Sheffield Wednesday owner isn't an international arms dealer, allegedly.
No, allegedly is the word, Chris, isn't there? I mean, we don't know if we get any trouble here. It's a Leicester fan channel, not.
So, Birmingham City's in there in the playoffs, which it wasn't in ours. Sheffield United wasn't in our playoffs either. So, there we go. Gentlefolk.
I don't want us to finish in 7th place. That would be heartbreaking, wouldn't it?
It would, but you got to. I'd look at that and go.
Oh, you wouldn't take 7th place now, Chris. Come on.
Now,
yeah,
I would take 7th.
No, come on. You've got to at least say you would gamble with the top 6, mate.
No, if you offered me 7th now, I would take it.
No, because we could come first. We could be that good.
No, we're not that good, mate.
We could. No points deduction. Good start. We might do
it.
Look,
A, we're going to get a points deduction. We know we are. B, we're not going to sell the likes of Faze, possibly not Cody. We don't know how good Wrexham are going to do to us. Winks and Skip, your favourite two in midfield. You know, all those players, we're probably going to be stuck with. We may end up, if the youngsters don't, cut the mark, this is the team we're going to have. If you're saying this is the team you've got going into the thing, because we're not, even the players we can sell, El Canuso apparently has had talks for Leeds. I don't know how true that is. And Hermanson. I mean, they're going to hold on. They're not going to be, they're going to wait till the last minute because they know the position we're in.
I still think we're on paper, irrelevant if we like these players or not, we've still got a better team on paper than West Brom or Sheffield United or Coventry. I really do. I really think still, despite them having really good years last year, we still got more about us. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Chris, I don't like a lot of the players. I don't particularly like them, but I still think they've proven it once before. A couple of years of age, yeah, but I still think, generally speaking, I'd much prefer to have our squad than Sheffield United's.
We will agree to disagree.
That's the great thing about opinions.
It is. I mean, like, if we're talking youngsters, yes, but with the others, what they did was a couple of years ago. They've got 2 years older. They've got worse in a lot of cases. But look, hey ho, that's it. Now, just ladies and gentlefolk, let us. I've not done this for a while, so let me, and I can't do it again because I've not got one. I thought I'd got it there. Here we go.
Coming up next on Leicester Till I Die TV.
£7 tomorrow. It's the back pages. Wayne will be joining me, and we'll be looking at all. And to be honest with you, it's been a quiet week on the Leicester City rumours. Basically, a lot of them are just updates on things we've talked about before. But we will also be looking at the Leicester Fiorentina game as well. We're looking ahead to that. And you know what? They finished sixth, I think, in Serie A last season. And they qualified for the Europa Conference. So, oh dear, this could be embarrassing. If we lose 7-0, we'll just say, that was just Cifuentes trying to fool the rest of the league into a false sense of perception. And also, coming up, I'm not sure when, again with Wayne, we'll be doing a Ruud van Nistelrooy deep dive into his time at Leicester City.
Wow, that'll be an interesting one, Chris.
We're going to be looking at what he said, what he did, and what actually happened. So that's coming up as well. Tom, you're a gentleman, sir.
My pleasure, mate. Thank you very much.
Tomorrow. I think we've been together every night, haven't we?
I was going to say to you when we started this show, Chris, I'm seeing you more often than my family. It's getting a little bit too close.
Oh, my God. I tell you what, guys, Tom's actually coming up in a couple of weeks, aren't you, with Jim?
Yeah, we are. We're all going to come and crash and see you, Chris. Yeah, so welcome to the rabble.
If you do not see Tom after that, I've kidnapped him and I'm holding. I can't say I'm holding him in my basement because my basement is Aldi, but
if I start appearing on that webcam rather than this one, I haven't gone home.
This is true. Tom, thanks very much, mate.
My pleasure,
thanks
mate.
to everybody in the chat. Had a bit of fun. We'll maybe revisit it at the end of the season, depending how wrong we all are. Look, if you're watching, don't forget, like, subscribe, and click that notification bell before you go. If you're watching on catch-up, put your comments in below, and also click that like button. And again, you can subscribe. And if you want to become a member, $1.99 a month. Cheap. And if you're listening, like I say, via your favourite podcast platform, thanks for tuning in. Tom, I'll see you on Saturday for the Fiorentina game. Thanks very much, everybody. Have a good night.
Cheers.
Thanks for watching. These videos are tremendous. You better like them too, or I'll be back.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.